Welcome back to Socks and Sandals, and welcome to another pickups video. Um, Surprisingly, I have more Xbox One Series X pickups than 360 this time, so that's something cool. But I think we'll just get started with, we'll do the PS4 because it's got a pretty cool thing in it. So before Christmas, I think Game Ranks made like a post, like a little, I don't know, blog post talking about a online website selling a bundle of the Doom anthology and the PlayStation 30th anniversary controller. I think it was like, I don't know, $140, I think. And at the time, these were sold out, and I didn't really want the console, but I do like the controller. It is still sealed. I don't know if I'll ever actually use this one, but I had a PS1 as a kid, not the original PlayStation, but I had a PS1, and nostalgia got me. I wanted the classic PlayStation colors, so I bought this anthology. When this anthology got announced, I was going to get it. I would have obviously wanted it on Xbox, but, getting that controller with it, I guess I'm fine with it being on PS4. This is also still sealed. It comes with the little diorama or replica of the BFG, so that's kind of neat. It's also got a steel book. I don't know if all of the games are on one disc, two discs. It may just be like Doom Eternal, and then download codes for the it's Doom 2, Doom 64, and then Doom 3. I own Doom 1, 2, and 3. They come with the Doom 3 BFG edition on 360. Doom 64 is playable on Game Pass, and I already have Doom on Xbox, the 2016, I guess, reboot. I mostly got it for the controller, but the Doom little collector's edition there is kind of neat, kind of a bonus. And then the last game for PS4 for this one is Tormented Souls. So this is it harkens back to like classic Resident Evil or Silent Hill. It's that fixed camera angle, tank controls, survival horror game. I watched John Wolfe play it. It looks fine. It does look a little janky, but I liked what I saw of it enough to want to get it. It'll be added in the wheel, so after we finish A Hat in Time, it may get picked. But I got this at GameStop for $14.99. It does also have a PS5 version, but this is the one I found at GameStop, so that's the one I bought. And speaking of PS5, so we've only got 2 games here for PS5, and first game is Gory Cuddly Carnage. You play as a little anthropomorphic cat, and it looks like you kill zombie unicorns, so probably crazy as hell. I don't really like the way Gory looks. It kind of bothers me, but it could be fun. I paid $29.99 for this, and it came with like all of the feelies. Poster of Gory, which it was folded in such a way the folds were like grabbing onto the poster, so when I unfolded, I actually ripped it a little. And then we've got some stickers, and then a download code for something. But I don't know anything about this game. I just thought it was interesting to play as a cat that kills zombie unicorns. This is also on Xbox, but there isn't a physical release of it, at least to my knowledge. Again, I would prefer to have it on Xbox, but I also collect physically, so... And this one is a little oopsie on my part. So it's Stray on the PS5, I bought this at Game Exchange. I traded in a bunch of stuff and got a bunch of credit. So I was like, you know what? I'll get that. And the only reason I got it were for the art cards. Because I could swear that when I bought my copy, which was brand new from GameStop, I did not have the art cards in it. But after I bought that and got home and I looked in my copy, I have the art cards and they are still in their little plastic thing. So I don't know. I just don't know why I didn't notice those in there. What happened with Stray, and I'm sure I've told this before, when it came out physically, I had it pre-ordered through GameStop, but I hadn't changed my address, so it was shipping to my old address. And it was sent back. I got refunded, and I thought I had deleted that old address, so I ordered again, and it got shipped to that new address again. And this was last year on Black Friday. Didn't think I was ever going to be able to get a hold of the post office to hold it for me, so I went ahead and went up to GameStop on Black Friday and got a copy. I ordered it. It said it was new, but when I got there, it was already opened, and I guess I just didn't even notice the art cards in it. But the copy that I had ordered online, the post office was able to hold it for me, but I decided to just give that to my cousin for a Christmas gift. And I didn't know it even came with art cards. I only found out at Christmas when she opened it and it had the art cards in it. I was like, well, son of a bitch. But I guess my mind just blanked that out, because I could swear they weren't in there. So now I own a PS5 copy of Stray, which, in all honesty, isn't a bad thing, because Stray is one of my favorite games, so it's not like I'm giving money to the developer because I bought it used, but just showing support for a good game. And since these art cards are already taken out of their plastic, I can hang these up. So that's neat. And next up, the only PS2 game I have, so I got on Facebook Marketplace, and a listing was for like a bunch of games. There's like a bunch of 360 and then some PS2 and some other stuff. I think I offered them $150, and this was in it. So this is Resident Evil Outbreak for the PS2. I don't have a PS2. I don't know if I'm ever going to play this, but I do like Resident Evil. So I thought it was, instead of like, because the only thing I would have used it is like trade fodder. A lot of the games I didn't keep out of that little bundle. I just used as trade fodder. So I thought instead of trading it in, I would just hold on to it just because I like Resident Evil. I don't know if I'm going to, I think this is the one, cooperative and competitive gameplay. I think this is the one that's online. Events span from Resident Evil 1 through 3. Character choice dictates player abilities and scenarios. It does have online functionality, but I'm not really sure which one this one is. It's from like those two little blurbs there. It sounds like it's a almost like a Telltale game where you make dialogue choices and stuff. But yeah, I have it. But like I said, I don't know if I'm ever going to play it. And you know what? I lied about my PS4. So I've got one more PS4 game here. It's technically, what, 3 of them? And it's the Yakuza collection. It comes with Yakuza 3, 4, and 5. And then it comes with, so this is the, like, collector's edition of it, where they come in this little book here. It has the Ryuga Gotoku sticker, but 3 and 4 are on one disc, and then 5 is on its own disc. So it comes with a PS3, like a faux PS3 case for Yakuza 5, because it was originally a PS3 release, but it released digitally only. So it's cool to now have a physical copy of Yakuza 5. I bought this after the show came out, and with the way Fallout stuff went, I wanted to get it before it just got stupid expensive. Granted, all of like the Fallout games have since come down because the new of the show has worn off. I've had this in my cart like several times, and I end up missing out on it. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get that. It's a little frayed at the bottom and on the sides, but I think I ended up paying like 30 something for it. I was just like, let me get that before it's like $60 and I can't ever find it again on eBay. All right, so next up, we'll actually move on to, let's do 360. So again, a bunch of stuff I traded into Game Exchange. These next two games I bought with the store credit. So first up is Earth Defense Force 2017. I think there are 3 Earth Defense Force games on the 360. It's 2017, Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon, and then I think 2025 is the other one. So I'm only missing one for the Earth Defense Force, but I had the credit, so I was like, you know what? Let me just get that. It doesn't have the manual. I hear that these are just like, good old Japanese janky fun, just killing insects, kind of like Helldivers 2, but probably doesn't work as well. Eventually I'll get around to playing the Earth Defense Force series. And then another game I bought with that credit is Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. This is, of course, this game went up with the whole 360 craze. I ended up paying $29.99 for it. I mean, again, it was just store credit, so I technically didn't pay anything. I just traded in a bunch of games that I got in lots or that I just didn't want and just got credit. But I like racing games, so this one was there. I never see this game, which is probably why it went up in price as much as it did, but I had the credit, so I got it. And I want to also mention, so because it's not technically a new game, I already owned it. I didn't put it on my list. Where the hell? Oh, it's up here. So I also got the Steelbook of Persona 5 Royal up there. I believe I paid $49.99 for it. I already own Persona 5 Royal on PS4, so I didn't add it to my new games list, but apparently the Xbox copy of Persona 5 Royal is hard to find because I guess not a lot of people bought it on Xbox. It was also on Game Pass, so people probably didn't see the reason to buy it if they could just play it for free on Game Pass. But I had that Steelbook pre-ordered for PS4 when Royal got announced, and something screwy happened with GameStop where they still charged my card, but I never got the game. It never even was shipped. So I don't know what happened with that. I think I was trying to use kind of like I don't know what it's called, but kind of how PayPal has the pay in 4. I think GameStop had something like that, and I ended up getting charged for it, but was never shipped the game, so that kind of sucked, but I was able to finally get the Steelbook for that. I think it's supposed to have a slip cover, if I'm not mistaken. I think the PS4 version of that has a slip cover, but whatever. I've got kind of a little display of Steelbooks over here. I want to get a shelf to put all my cool Steelbooks on, so the Steelbook is really the only reason I got it. I mean, maybe one of these days I'll actually play Royal, but I put so many hours into base Persona 5. I just need a little more time to jump into Royal. It's not really... I wish they cut out, like, the first month of Persona 5. Like, you could skip that. Where you're, like, getting acclimated before you actually start going into Mementos and stuff and, You actually form the Phantom Thieves. I wish you could skip all of that, because that's just like when you've already played the game twice and you're doing a third playthrough, that is just filler that you've got to get through. But moving on back to Xbox 360, so I got the Forza Motorsport 4 Collector's Edition, which, I mean, I already own Forza Motorsport 4, so I guess if the rule I was applying to Persona 5, I shouldn't have added this, but I just think this is cool. It comes with a steelbook, of course, because a lot of collector's editions do. Steelbook is kind of boring. I don't know why they didn't put the BMW on the steelbook, but whatever. But it also comes with an actual book that has, like, I don't know if it's all the cars, but it's a lot of cars from Forza Motorsport 4. That's cool. And I think a lot of these are written by Jeremy Clarkson. They're like reviews of the car. Yeah, what you're holding is a collection of some of the finest supercars and the DeLorean you'll find in Forza Motorsport 4, which, for added joy during the game, come with Clarkson noises all over them. Yeah, so this is written by Andy Willem of, well, this little introduction here. Andy Willem of Top Gear. I guess he was the producer or something. But I don't know if the like actual reviews are written by Clarkson, but when Forza Motorsport came out, that was the whole reason I wanted to play it, is because Jeremy Clarkson was the narrator of the game, and Top Gear is one of my favorite shows of all time. But yeah, I just bought it because of the nice looking BMW on the cover. I think I paid like 20 something for this off of eBay. It came from Canada. And then next up, I went back to collectible cards and games. Or I think I had work in the area, so I ran over there after that. And they had the, was it 2009 Wolfenstein? It is, of course, loose. The artwork is reprinted, but I think it was like $9.99, and again, this is one of the games that went up because, I don't know, apparently it's a good Wolfenstein game, but I think just because it was a game that didn't, like, perform well, the price kind of went up on it. But yeah, I found it there. I do have grand ambitions of getting all the achievements in every Wolfenstein game. This does have multiplayer, so I don't know if I'll be able to get all of them in this one, unless I wanted to buy several other copies. But that will just, time will have to tell on that one. And next up, so at the same time I bought Stray, I got Ride to Hell, was it Retribution? So this is like one of the worst games released for the 360, and because of that, it kind of went up, but I think it has since come down because people realize that it is still a bad game. Bought Stray for $25.99. Ride to Hell Retribution I got for $34.99, which I think it's like 20 something now. So I overpaid for it, but like I said, I traded in a bunch of stuff, so it was free credit. When I had my yard sale, I had a bin full of games that everything in that bin I was just selling for $1. So I took that entire bin up to Game Exchange and got a bunch of trade credit. I just combined the two and bought Ride to Hell Retribution and Stray for the PS5. I may play that. It doesn't have any multiplayer achievements, so barring that the game is just completely unplayable, which is what I hear it is, it could be a full completion. But I'm not really worried about it right now. And so that lot that I got from Facebook Marketplace had Shadow of Mordor in it. I have already played this. I think I actually played the 360 version of it when I originally played it. But I'm not a big fan of Shadow of Mordor. The kind of Nemesis system got old real quick to me. But there were actually 2 copies of this game in that lot. So I was like, I'll just keep one of them. And then I traded the other one in. And then So, the 360 version of Destiny, which I don't even think is playable anymore, it had no trade value, so I opted to just hold on to it. Um, it might be fun. I actually spun this in the wheel, but it was towards the end. If you don't know, the Achievement Hunters Variety Hour, I had every Xbox 360, Xbox One, and Series X game I hadn't earned any achievements for in a wheel. I spin the wheel, and then whatever game it lands on, I had to get 100 gamer score in. Towards the end of the Variety Hour, Destiny got spun, but I really did not feel like playing Destiny at that point, so I skipped it. Whenever I decide to do another Variety Hour, it'll be in there. Which, I don't know if I'll do it the same way as I have been. Further into 2025 will determine that. And then in that same lot was Devil May Cry 4. I'm not big into the character action hack and slash games like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta, but I hear people like this one, so I just decided to keep it. And next up is, from that same lot, GoldenEye 007 Reloaded. I hear this is a bad version of GoldenEye. I think what it is like, I don't know if it's like a remake of the original GoldenEye. I think it might just be like just scenes from the old Bond movies. They just like made a game out of it. I'm not sure. This is when Activision was doing the James Bond games. So, but I hear people don't really like this one. I don't know. I haven't played it. I haven't played any of the 007 games, so I don't know anything about them. But I decided to keep it because I have Bloodstone already, so now the only 360 007 game I'm missing is Casino Royale. So I'll probably get that just to have all of the 007 games. So there were a bunch of games in that lot. I believe this is the last one. So we got Doom 3, BFG. I have Doom 3, The Resurrection of Evil on the original Xbox, which is basically what this is, except this one has achievements. And I'm glad that, because I was actually going to buy this at GameStop when I was in El Paso for work. And I'm glad I didn't, because I got it in this lot. So the BFG edition comes with Doom 1 and 2. It has the Resurrection of Evil add-on pack, are 8 new levels entitled The Lost Mission, and as a special bonus, Doom 3 BFG edition includes Classic Doom and Doom 2 games. There's really no reason to have the Doom 3 Resurrection of Evil on the original Xbox because it's all in this. And I'm not sure, but I think this version allows it's got the duct tape mod, which allows you to have the gun out with the flashlight at the same time. I don't know if original Doom 3 on the Xbox has that, so this is obviously going to be the way I would play Doom 3 because just the quality of life fixes and achievements. So, Movie Trading Company was having a sale. I think it was like, I don't know if it was on Black Friday or after Black Friday, but it was like a 20% off the entire store for pre-owned stuff. And Nathan, being the movie guy he wanted to go, and I bought some games while I was there. I got Way of the Samurai 3. It's incomplete, but it's just a game that I hadn't really heard about. It kind of looks like the Yakuza Ishin game, where it's set in it's like a historical piece of Japan. It's set in the year 1560. Set in the year 1560 Sengoku era. Feudal Japan is engulfed in conflict. But I know nothing about the game. It's just something that I never see, so I grabbed it during the sale. And this one I have played, and it's my favorite in the series. It's Skate 2. I had Skate and Skate 3, and for obvious reasons, Skate 2 is the most expensive in the series because it's the best one. The multiplayer on it is no longer active, so I don't really see why it's that expensive, but at least more than Skate 3. But it is my favorite, and it was the one I was missing in my Skate series, so I grabbed it there. I paid... Oh, so the sale was actually a buy two, get one free. $19.99 for Skate 2, and then $14.99 for Way of Samurai. And then the thing I got for free was the new Foo Fighters album, because I could not find any other game to get free. I've been looking for that Foo Fighters CD, so that was actually a good opportunity to get it. And then while we were at Movie Trading Company, the big half-price books in downtown Dallas it was like 5 minutes away. So I went over there and I got the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Game of the Year edition. I have Skyrim, and I was like, I've been looking for the Game of the Year edition for Oblivion. I did not like Oblivion, but I did already have Skyrim, and I'm close to having all of the achievements in Oblivion. So it would be something that I could go back and just clean up on just to, boost my completion rate. I actually want to do a video talking about my plans for achievement hunting going forward in the year 2025. People like making New Year's resolutions. I want to do one that involves my achievement hunting. I paid $9.99 for it, and so it is the Game of the Year edition, so it's got the bonus disc that's got like the Shivering Isles and I think like the Knights of the Nine. Yeah. And then, of course, the base game. But it also, so it's got the map of, what is it, Cyrodiil is the Oblivion area. Yeah, it is province of Cyrodiil. It's got this thing. But, so if you notice on the front, a GameStop exclusive bonus Knights of the Nine poster. And the poster was still in there, so I thought that was kind of cool. And whoever owned this, they hung it up, but they, put it back in their case and sold it. That's crazy. Because it's got little thumbtack holes in it. But, yeah. So I thought that was kind of neat to get the GameStop exclusive, and it still had the exclusive poster in it. Out of the... there's really only two that actually have achievements. So out of the two Elder Scrolls games, well, I guess online, but out of the two Elder Scrolls games on 360, I don't know, I think I'm missing maybe 10 achievements for this. I got all of them for the Shivering Isles, so I think the only achievements I'm missing are the base game stuff, doing the different faction side quests, like the Silent Brotherhood. I think I've already done that one. I know I've done the Thieves Guild too. I think it might be I can't remember what it is, but it would be, I'm not going to say it's a quick, but I think it'd be an easy completion to go back and get those. It's just, I don't like Oblivion, but I think it would be an easy way to clean up my completion. And last up, at a different time, so we found out about that buy two get one free sale from Movie Trading Company because we had gone there and I got a copy of, I think it's Morph X is the name of it. This is one of the janky games on 360. I don't even think it's so bad it's good. I think it's just bad. But it is something that I never see, or when I do see it, it doesn't have the artwork. It's reprinted. It's just a loose disc. But I got this, and it doesn't have the name of it, but it was the Darksiders 3 collector's edition strategy guide, a hardcover one, which I thought was really cool. But I bought Morph X for $9.99, which I think is like lower than what it's currently going for. I think it's like $14.99 or something. But I believe this is also one of the games that went up in price. Again, like a lot of the games, people buy them and realize how bad they are, so the price naturally goes back down. I mean, I've fallen victim to that too. Kind of got shafted on Senko no Ronde, but I bought that even before like the rise. Like when I bought it, it was 30, and I think it dropped down to like 15, and then the store closed and it shot up to I think 80, and I think it's now back down to like 30 something. So that was something. But that was all of the 360, and we will now move on to... Got a bunch of new games. Still sealed because I haven't played them yet. So we got RoboCop Rogue City. With this one, I actually ordered it online. I ordered a pre-owned copy. Well, I take that back. So I was in GameStop in Waxahachie, and they had it new, and I think it was like $39.99 in store. And I didn't really want to spend $39.99. So I asked them, I was like, do y'all have a pre-owned copy? And she didn't have it in the store, but she could order it. So it was like $24.99 for the pre-owned copy, or actually it's $29.99 pre-owned. So I ordered it, and she was going to have it delivered to my house. Well, it finally came, but it was just a loose disc. It didn't have the artwork or anything. And by the time it came, GameStop was doing their Black Friday sales, and brand new RoboCop was cheaper than what I paid used, and it would be brand new. It has the artwork and everything. So I did a return on it and went ahead and ordered a copy of RoboCop and went and picked it up on Black Friday at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And the guy, so when I went in, I explained everything to him. I was like, I ordered RoboCop, it came loose, it's cheaper to get it, or it's not really cheaper. It's the same price to get it new, and it has everything. It's new. I explained all of that to him, and I did the return first, got my money back, and then was like, I also have an order to pick up. And he was just like dumbfounded that the order I was picking up was the exact same game I just returned. In the lot that I got from Facebook Marketplace, they had in the picture this Super Deluxe Edition of Borderlands 3. Well, when I got there, it wasn't in there. There were a few games that they said they couldn't find. I don't know if they just... Because the lot wasn't posted as a lot. It was one of those where they're like, make an offer on whatever games you want. And I just made an offer on all of it. And they took it. So it could have been something that somebody bought already, which that's fine. But this steelbook was one of the main reasons I wanted the lot. And Nathan's just sitting there laughing at me right now. He's like, oh, he doesn't collect steelbooks. I've got a bunch of steelbooks, and my thing with steelbooks is if it's a game I already own, the steelbook needs to be cheaper than just buying the game. It needs to be like pennies on the dollar. And with it being in a lot, I justify it to myself like, oh, that's just kind of a bonus because whatever games I keep will balance the value of the lot out with whatever I don't keep and trade in. But because it wasn't in there, I then was like, man, I could have got that. So I bought it off of eBay. And I think I paid like 10 something for it. And when I went to Game Exchange and traded in the games I didn't keep out of that lot, they had a copy of Borderlands 3 Super Deluxe there for like $7.99. So much cheaper than what I bought it on eBay. So if I had just waited... It is a nice steelbook though. I'm going to keep the slip on it because, you know, that's how it's complete. But that is a nice steelbook. And I'm a big enough Borderlands fan that I now have... I've got like, I think, all of the special editions, at least for North America, of the Borderlands games. So, that's something. And then I believe this came in my video games monthly. It's Titanfall. Again, this game has no value. I don't even know if it's playable anymore, but I wouldn't have gotten anything as a trade-in, and I feel like Game Exchange has enough of these. I don't want to drive Game Exchange out of business by trading them in more copies of Titanfall that they are not going to sell. So I feel like I'm doing Game Exchange a service. I don't know why I stuck Borderlands 3 back on the shelf. It was in this stack. And then next up, another new game. This is the Dead Rising Deluxe Remaster. The original Dead Rising, I was not the biggest fan of. Dead Rising 2, I did complete. I think it's the only Dead Rising game I've... Well, that and Case Zero. The Deluxe Remaster looks really good, and I think there are some quality of life changes with it. It does still have the timer where you have to do the cases in a timely manner or else you'll fail them. But I think it'd be fun to experience this version of Dead Rising over the original. I do have the original, but yeah, I thought it was... I want to support Capcom in the remakes of pretty much any of their remakes. Capcom has been killing it with their remakes lately. So I want to support them, and I had to get a physical copy of that to show my support. And in that same lot, I got Troll and I. This was a launch game for the Xbox One, and that Troll is one ugly motherfucker. That's what puts me off of this one, is that thing is just ugly. I mean, granted, he's a troll. It's kind of like it's kind of like Xbox's version of not even Shadow of the Colossus. It'd be Eco or The Last Guardian. It's something where you're kind of babysitting someone, or you have a companion that kind of helps you out, but they're like a big monster. So I don't know. I don't see it too often, but I just kept it because it was an Xbox One game. Could be easy achievements. I haven't really looked at the list for it. So these next two games, if you've seen my limited run kinda sucks video. So this is the Clock Tower Rewind. This one is the Super Deluxe version I got off of AmiAmi, and this is the limited run version. So I do want to play Clock Tower because it's like classic Japanese survival horror. But when I pre-ordered that from limited run, I think it got delayed twice. And when the game actually released, so I had this pre-ordered on AmiAmi, and when the game actually came out, this got shipped to me a week later, and from Japan. So my whole video, I go into like more detail in the limited run video, but it didn't correlate to me how a US based company struggled to ship this out so much when I got it from Japan a week after release. I do still have this version of the game sealed because I don't intend to play this version. I only bought this just for like the goodies. I will be playing the Xbox version though. And then next up, so if you have seen the Variety Hour video, I talk about wanting to get all of the achievements in every Dead or Alive game. So this is Dead or Alive 5 Last Round. Nathan and I, we haven't done it in a while, but we were working on getting all of the achievements for Dead or Alive 5 on the 360. The list is significantly easier on the Last Round version, or on 360, the Ultimate Edition. But the Xbox One version is significantly cheaper than the 360 version. So if I'm going to go for the Ultimate version of Dead or Alive 5, I decided to do it in Last Round because it was just cheaper to get 2 copies of this rather than... Right now, I think Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate is like the asking price, at least according to Price Starting, is like $36. And I think I paid $10 for this. So So this one is also from Lemon and Run. This one also got delayed, but I don't know. I don't know if this was being. It might have been. I don't think this was being sold in GameStop. The next game is, and that's where I canceled my Lemon and Run pre-order of it. But I think this one you had to get from Lemon and Run. It has now since. It'll be on the next pickups video. It has since now come out at other retailers. I think Best Buy is selling it. I think Best Buy's got like a partnership with Lemon and Run, so a lot of their games get sold at Best Buy. Yeah, so another game that originally came out digitally but got a physical release via Lemon and Run. I like what Lemon and Run does. It just they need to like figure out just the issues they're having with shipments. I don't know why it takes so long. And granted, you know, you've got to press the disc and that and the third. You've got to print the artwork and put them in the cases and seal it and all that. But, I mean, companies have been doing this for decades now. And games get released on release day. So, maybe they just need to, like, up their staff or something. I don't know. It's sealed. I'll play it eventually. The achievement list on that one looks pretty daunting. It looks like it requires a lot of playthroughs and extreme actions you've got to do in the game itself. But another game that released digitally at first, but Lemon and Run was going to do a physical release of it. But GameStop was also doing it. It's Alan Wake 2. I had this pre-ordered on Lemon and Run. I think I might have had the collector's edition pre-ordered, but I just happened to look up. I don't know how I found it on GameStop. I don't know if like it's one of those Google ads that gets recommended, or maybe I was scrolling through GameStop and I saw that the PS5 version was available, so I looked up to see if the Xbox was. I'm not sure, but I discovered that it was also able to pre-order on GameStop. So I canceled the Lemon and Run one and pre-ordered it through GameStop, and lo and behold, got it the day it released. So, you know, I got this version, and then when it came out, I bought it digitally and played the first hour. It didn't matter after I bought it. Remedy and Epic Games had already got the money. Microsoft. I already paid for it, but I don't know. Like after the fact, I just felt like I don't really want to play this because it doesn't have a physical version. And then it got a physical release. So it is in the backlog, but one of these days I'll actually break the seal on this and actually get around to playing it. I loved Alan Wake, and I loved Control. So I'm going to love this one. And I hear it's like a really good game. Like a really good survival horror game. Right now I'm doing the Achievement Hunters difficulty challenge. And that's 10 games I've got to get through at like differing difficulties. So this will be like later. I do intend to do it one of these days, but I want to get this done because it's daunting. And I'll talk more about my plans for the channel as far as that is concerned, but that'll be in my like 2025 New Year's resolution thing. I think when we went to Movie Trading Company, there's a GameStop right down the street, right past the Whataburger there. So I went into GameStop, and I don't know if they were doing a buy two get one, or if I was just like, I'm gonna pick up some games. I think it was a buy two get one, but I got WRC 8. When I scanned this into CLZ, I think it like scanned in at like $30, which is not what I paid for it. So I don't know if GameStop just had it listed for the wrong game or what, but I got this one. It's a rally game. I like racing games. I haven't played any of the like dirt or WRC games. This one's more of like a rally sim, like as you can see on the back. It says pure simulation. So it's probably more hardcore than say Forza Horizon 5's like rally DLC. But I figure I'd give it a shot, and then It had to have been a buy two get one because as much as I like racing games, NASCAR Heat Evolution is not really like on the top of my list. Let me see. Actually, this isn't even the right receipt. I'm just gonna assume it was a buy two get one sale. Actually, it was on all of the Xbox One games. Yep, I remember now. Because the last game was not part of the sale. But yeah, this is the receipt for Wolfenstein Youngblood. The copy I bought Nathan so that we could play it together. I actually almost bought this game twice. So I got this one. Here recently I went to Houston for work. And anytime I go out of town for work, I always look up closest game store to me. It's kind of like a souvenir in my mind to go to a game store and just... It doesn't even have to be anything great. Just pick up a game just as a souvenir. So I went and they were having a buy three get one on anything white tagged, I think. So I was looking through all of their stuff and I wasn't sure which NASCAR Heat game I had bought, but I found this one there and I was actually going to get it, but I couldn't find another game. I actually found this Evil Within there, and when I took it up, it didn't have the game in it. So, because I had found it was NASCAR Heat Evolution, Evil Within, and then it'll be in next week's, well, not next week, next pickup. Oh, it was Body Count. So I got Body Count, NASCAR Heat, and I was like, if I buy these two games, could I just get this for free? Just because I like the lenticular, or the little... Yeah, I guess it is lenticular. The lenticular slip on it. And he's like, sure. Well, I got back to the hotel room and checked my CLZ. I was like, let me see, because I was like, I swear I have that already. Let me see if that's the NASCAR Heat I have. And sure enough, it was. So I called him back and was like, I already have this game. Can I bring it back and trade it for a equal priced game? He's like, sure. So I took it back and got Homefront Revolution. That's the long of it. And then in that same GameStop buy two get one, just to kind of fill the deal, I got Halo Wars 2. I already have Halo Wars, so it kind of completes the subset. I don't know if I'll ever play it. It comes with the season pass for Halo Wars 2 and Halo Wars Definitive Edition. It's a download code, so I don't even know if that'll work. I don't know. It could be something maybe Nathan will play or would like to play. I don't know. I kind of don't want to force Nathan to play games anymore. But I really don't have any interest in it, but it'll be in the wheel. So if it gets spun, well, Halo Wars will be in the wheel, and then after that, Halo Wars 2 will be in the wheel. But like I said, I have plans for the wheel going forward, so it'll be a little different. And then this one, I have actually actively been looking for this. So it is MLB The Show, the MVP edition, and whoops. The Steelbook is the only reason I wanted it. I just like the anime ass just cover for it. I originally found I was made aware of this version of MLB Show 22 because I was, again for work, I was at Walmart and they had the PS4 version. I was like, that's cool, but I think it was which is crazy because this is 22 and it was 24 at the time I found it, so the game had already been 2 years old and they were still wanting, I think, full price for it, and I was like, no, I'm not paying that. I'll find it used. So when I looked it up, so MLB The Show used to be a PlayStation exclusive, and if you look, it's got the PlayStation Studios logo on it. And then on the back is Sony Interactive Entertainment. But it's a Series X game. So I guess Sony lost the license for MLB or the show, whatever. So it was also then released on Xbox. So when I looked up MLB 22, this version, on Mercari, I saw that there was an Xbox version of it. So I then started looking for it, and I would have it saved on Mercari. There aren't very many listings of the Xbox version on Mercari. So the ones I would find would end up getting purchased. And at that GameStop, I just happened to find it. It was like the coolest thing. So I now have MLB The Show 22 MVP Edition just because of the Steelbook. I don't even know who Otani is, but I like that anime ass cover. So I may play it. I think out of all of the sports, baseball is the one that I think I can get the most enjoyment out of. But I've never played any baseball game, so I don't even know how that would go. But that's it for that page of pickups. If you like the video, leave a like. Leave a comment down below on if you've played any of these games. Did you get Clock Tower? Did you get the Doom Anthology or the PlayStation 30th Anniversary controller? Leave a comment for any of these games that you think I should play sooner rather than later. But if you did enjoy the video, consider subscribing. I do pickups videos like this, but I also mostly do achievement hunting videos where I get achievements in games maybe I'm just going back to get the achievements for, like maybe I didn't get all of them, or just full completions of games. Consider subscribing if that's something you're into. But other than that, check back next time for whatever I do. Bye-bye.